Um, I really, when I was 19 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Um, it was either go to community college, and to be honest, I had, like most kids around that age, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, right? But I knew for sure that if I went to community college, I would probably be wasting my time. So I went to trade school originally to be a car mechanic, because really that's all I really knew. Um, but when I went to the trade school, the rep actually showed me the HVAC department and what HVAC was all about, and immediately, I felt like that was a good fit. And whether he was trying to sell me on the course or not, whatever, it worked out 13 years later, so I'm glad it did. Man, so what inspired me to start my business? To be honest, I really just didn't like working for big companies anymore and the politics that came with it. I wanted to be my own boss and just provide service my way to the homeowners that I deal with, and that's a very honest and trustworthy way, where I'm not trying to go in there again to sell you on stuff you don't need. My job is just to go there to make sure your system's running perfectly as possible and that you guys are comfortable in your home. You know what? I think the most man, there's actually quite a few, but I think the most important one is called The Slight Edge. That book's about momentum, and basically, if you're doing something, uh, it's about doing things every single day, even as small as they are, which will eventually build up your momentum into bigger things. And I've taken that literally into everything I do, whether anything, because you might be having a bad day or a bad month, but you gotta look at the actions that is causing it. Sometimes it's just bad luck, but a lot of times it's your own actions. If you start taking those actions again that made you successful at the time, and you keep doing that, eventually it builds up, and you get more success. But if you start getting complacent and start taking things easier, when you're up here, you start to kind of trickle down. And then the book talks about how in life you're really not going in a straight line, you're really going up or down. And that whole mindset pretty much changed my whole life on how I view things. The favorite thing that I enjoy about it is just being able to travel, just drive around, go to different homes, different. One day I'm in Elk Grove, the next day I might be in Sacramento, or in the same day I might be in Elk Grove, and I might be in Placerville, 2 hours later, meeting some other homeowner, and seeing how they live their life. One person can live in the city, another person can live in the country area, and you kind of get their kind of perspective of how they are. And I think that's the most enjoyable part about what I do.